Hey, this is Odessa Bennett reporting with City Lights on Novus TV. Today I'm at the Vancouver Art Gallery checking out the exhibit, How Soon Is Now? Contemporary Art from Here. It's an exhibition of 34 British Columbian artists that is diverse and multimedia. I read this exhibit puts interaction over contemplation. Tell me more about this.
That was a way of saying that the work that you see in this exhibition is not just about what you're looking at, but how you're looking as a viewer. So as a viewer, you're asked to listen really closely, or you're asked to look to the floor, to the ceiling, or to the entrance of the gallery when you come in. So really, the exhibition invites a kind of participation as a viewer. So rather than, if you think of a kind of traditional relationship to a work of art where we stand back and we appreciate the aesthetics of, say, a painting, this exhibition invites all kinds of different experience and different ways of looking.
Tell me a bit about this amazing work.
So this piece is called Skull. I've been working with flowers for a few years now. I'm interested in representation, so going from flat to expanding back into 3D and back to 2D. So they're all photographs that I took while I was on residency in Banff in 2005. I've also spent quite a bit of time in Mexico over the last few years, and I'm really interested in the culture of death that they have there and the celebrations of death as in the Day of the Dead. So yeah, this is actually, the design is of a sugar skull. Those are little skulls that children cast out of sugar and then they decorate with icing, so they're quite garish and kitschy, so I really like a lot of those themes, and yeah, that's how I came up with this piece.
It sort of comes from a whole bunch of different places. One of them is that we're trying to break a kind of model of production that a lot of artists follow, and you're taught at school. Basically, you have an idea, you work through processes and steps, and then concepts or whatever, and then you finish up with the end product as sort of a culmination of the whole thing. Whereas this piece, and this method of working, we set out to do it without a plan. General concerns, like this obviously has to do with power relations between people, changes in elevation, sort of how you physically relate to other people in a space.
So this will be flown on the flagpole outside?
There's a nylon version of it outside right now that's flying right now, depending on circumstances, obviously, right?
So late night TV watchers unite, hey?
Yeah, that kind of thing, exactly. Yeah, and it's also I used it. I thought it was good for a flag because it's got this that rainbow pattern that sort of addresses like plurality or like sort of naive notions of like utopian or like multiculturalism. My creative process is all about spreading myself too thin and trying to make work that sort of appeals to everyone and therefore appeals to no one, and has kind of because of that, it has like sort of a not disgust but an abjection, something you might want to look away from. I mean, these pieces are charged, right? It's a little bit and they're oversaturated for a reason, because it's just a bit too much.
To learn more about this diverse exhibit, check out the website www.vanartgallery.bc.ca. I'm Odessa Bennett, and I'll see you next time on City Lights.